Sure, I don't.
Okay.
We'll wait another minute for Patricia. I want to do a really kind of extended pace / warm up. Oh dear, let me see if Patricia wrote me. No. Oh dear.
Can you call her?
Yes, I could. Great idea. Hi, Patricia. It's Dana. Can you not get in? Oh, really? Okay, I just sent. Yeah, I just sent it to you. Okay, try that. That should do it. Uh-huh. There you are. There you are. Okay, I'm going to get off the phone and okay. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Okay. Yay, we're all present in some form or another.
Hi, Bob.
Bob's going to make entrance and exit.
Okay.
Today.
Entrances, exits.
So now we'll officially begin our pace.
Okay.
We're going to start with thinking caps. We're not going to do the regular, you all know the 4-step pace. So we're going to do it differently today. We're going to do sort of my morning warm up. And one of the things when you do thinking caps is to get all the parts of the ear, is to do the first one going around with the outer, you know, the outer sort of curl of the ear. Okay, so you go all around this part. And the next one, you're going to move into that cartilage ring here and sort of pull and open, including that. And then you're going to go right inside and give that. I mean, of course, gentle. Don't do anything that hurts, but you might find sore spots. This way, we're covering the whole ear. There's a whole school of acupuncture that just uses the points in the ear, auricular acupuncture. And I once had a very bad sprained back. And I went to my usual specialized kinesiologist, and I called him, said, can I get in? He said, well, I've just finished teaching a class. I'll ask if any of the students want to join me, and we'll all work on you. So I had one woman who did some strange, I don't know what it was. And then this woman did auricular acupuncture, but she didn't have needles with her. So she used a ballpoint pen. And she said, okay, so you said it's the third and fourth lumbar vertebra. It should be right there. And I just jumped because she really, so she knew exactly what related to every vertebra in the spine. It was amazing. Okay, so now we're going to go on to our eyes. And starting in that point, that we've used that bladder point here. Eyes clarity.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can also do alternate, push down from one side and up from the other, and then reverse. And then come around along the eyebrows, right around the eye socket. And then up, around, and along the jawbone. Yeah, a cheekbone. I'm sorry, cheekbone, not jawbone. Cheekbone. Okay, and then I like to do some little tappy, 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 tappy. And there's that nice breath release. Come down to this spot on either side of your nostrils. Helps with clearing, detoxing. And I find it also, it's actually on the large intestine meridian, but I find that it really starts to open my sinuses up. Yeah, it's just that little,
Yeah.
For people on iPhones, I know I'm very, very small. Okay, so we've done that. We're going to come down to our jaws and do a little bit of energy on. And I encourage you to find the spot that really helps you to yawn. Like for me, it's a bit, I come down lower than my jaw, and that really helps me to yawn.
Got it.
And we can continue right along behind. We have the triple warmer meridian back here, and we have our balance buttons. You all know our balance buttons, right? So this whole area here, I find there's oftentimes a bit of soreness in there to get in there. And then kind of all the way under the collarbone. And covering our heart. This is actually the point for the heart protector right here in the little, not under the breastbone, but just in that little kind of depression in our sternum. And I just like to take a nice deep breath there. And then move one hand down to my solar plexus and another nice deep breath. And let's stand up. Another deep breath with my hand over my belly and sliding my fingers up to my brain buttons. When you're ready, switch hands. So we're going to do the whole developmental movement sequence instead of just cross crawls. So the first is cellular breathing. So just noticing your breath, noticing exhaling all the way out. And let the air rush in to fill the vacuum. Focus on the exhalation. You can use a S or a sh sound if you like. And then we're going to allow our body to fold completely in as we exhale. And stretch all the way out as we inhale. Wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes, wiggle our head, wiggle our tail. Get it all going. And then another exhale all the way back into the center, back into our navel. Bring all the energy into our navel. And then stretch it all out like a big starfish. Wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes, wiggle our tail, wiggle our head. Just like a little baby. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, now we're going to focus on our head, tail, mouthing. Right, so let's lick our lips. It's morning. And just turning our head with that awareness of our mouth, leading us around, all around, feeling that rotation in our spine. Easy. Maybe upping the tempo a little bit if you feel ready to do that. Then focusing on the bottom and the top of our spine. We've got the wiggle, wiggle, wiggle in the tail. And that mobility in the head. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, and then let's reach with our tail like we were going to sit down in a chair, and then reach up with the head. So focusing not on the bending and the flexion like we were doing, but the real reach from the tail and the reach from the top of the head, just like we practiced when we were sitting down and standing up. But getting that support for all our movements coming from the tail and the head, from the spine, really. Okay, now letting that go, we're going to focus on our upper-lower movement connection. So bending the lower body and rising the legs and rising on our toes. Just feel that straight up and down now. So the spinal movement is supporting us to bend. And then press the floor away from you. Bend. Press the floor away from you. And now reach up with the arms. Reach. Feel the stretch from the soles of your feet pressing in the floor to the reach of the hands to the ceiling. Now bend over, just curve over and press into the floor with your hands and feel the stretch from your palms all the way to your heels. And then come up again Feel the stretch with the reach of the hands and the reach of the feet to the floor. And now come over, curve the spine, press the palms into the floor to create some space in your spine. Imagine all the vertebrae of your spine separating slightly as you do that. Let's do that one more time. Reaching up to the ceiling, up into the sky, into the clouds, and our feet reaching into the earth like some soft earth or some sand, and then curving over one more time. As you place your palms on the floor, you're going to push into your palms and push into your heels and feel that elongation of your spine, like beads on a kind of a, elastic, and you're stretching the beads apart. Okay, and now we're going to reach up with one hand and one leg, our ipsilateral or homolateral crawls, and then the other leg, really nice and slow. So every time you reach up, you're also balancing on that leg, pressing that foot into the nice soft earth. And change, press into the nice soft earth. Okay, now let's take that reach forward and back. Gently, slowly breathing, finding our balance. Okay, and then change, opposite arm from opposite leg, blah, 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 yes. So when one arm is reaching, can you just let the other arm dangle, 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 dangle? Like your leg is dangling long on the other side. Okay, and then let's take it forward and back. Okay, so if you're having struggle with a balance, let's do some balance buttons. When you're ready, change sides. And now let's do some earth buttons. You remember earth buttons? With the vertical eye tracking. So inhale, eyes go up to the ceiling. Exhale, eyes come down. And now let's balance on one leg as we continue to hold our earth buttons. And see if you can do the eye tracking while you're balancing on one leg. Continuing to breathe. And switch to the other leg. And now let's switch hands and hold our space buttons. So the hand that was on your chin goes to your sacrum and tailbone, and the other one comes above the lips, below the nose. And now we're going to look up and out. If you have a window, look out your window. And we can track our eyes from the ceiling down to the ground. Exhale, eyes go back up. Inhale, eyes come down. Exhale, eyes go up. And let's do that balancing on one leg. Inhale, eyes go down. Exhale, eyes go up. Inhale, eyes go down. Exhale, eyes go up. And when you're ready, change legs. And now let's do our cross-lateral movements again. Now I don't do all these things every morning. I mean, this is responding to what I'm seeing on the screen. So opposite arm, opposite leg, stretching forward and back. See what the balance is like. And if you wobble, that's okay. If you wobble, don't panic, breathe. And if you fall over, that's okay. But let go of that idea of gripping to balance or holding your breath. Draw your attention to the soles of your feet. That's where you get all the information. It's not about where your arms and legs are reaching in space. You can do that. You all know how to do that. What we've got to do is train our foot to control our balance while we're moving our body. I'm still learning to do this in dance classes. So I'm getting some thumbs up. It looks like we're finding some more ease. Okay, and then let's do some classic cross crawls, get our spines involved, our hips and our shoulders moving. And then let's do the reach and cross and 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 reach and cross. And lastly, we have our hookups. So we've all used these colors before. So I'm going to show you another way of working with, since we're working with the meridians. Okay, you all know these colors, and you are great at noticing what you sense. I know that originally Audrey and Patsy would have gotten these cards. I can send you a PDF of these cards if you'd like. You can put these cards, not put these cards. You can also visualize these as going around your navel. Okay, so the red would be if you feel your navel. So let's do this physically on our body. So find your navel, and if you come right above your navel, that's kind of an indication of the fire element in your body. If you go around to your left, to your stomach side, your own left, that is where earth is, the yellow. And if you go down from there, so you're going down and to the left of your navel, that's where metal is. Okay, and I will send you these cards. If you go down to the right, that's where the blue water is. And if you come up, so you're diagonally up from the navel, that's liver, which is the liver side. So our liver is here, our stomach is here. So it's easy to remember. Earth is stomach, nurturing, our nourishment. Liver is green, bile is greenish yellow. That's the liver side on the right. And then the kidneys are below the liver, or the water is below wood, green. It is kidneys, the water. And then large intestine and lungs is metal. Okay. And of course, fire is heart protector, small intestine, triple warmer. Okay. So one of the ways of thinking about those colors is you could just visualize or place your hand over those three areas and seeing if one of them feels like it needs some attention, if the energy feels weaker there, or some tension. So just see if you sense. And one of the things you can do is kind of tap around in a circle first to kind of sensitize yourself, and then notice if there's a difference. Okay, so notice what came up for you from doing that. Not sure. And then look at the colors and see if it's the same as what you sense. And if you didn't notice anything, maybe they're in balance. So of course, I'm always curious. I taught a class last night to 20 people, 20 teachers, none of whom would turn on their videos.
Oh my God.
drives me crazy trying to teach, you know? So, Ruth, you're my,
They were all in balance. Everything felt okay when I was going round. So, yeah.
okay.
All good. Yeah.
Patsy.
I was quite balanced, I thought.
Okay. Audrey.
I was balanced.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
Well, maybe our warm-up helped to balance everybody. And Patricia.
I'm not sure what I'm noticing.
Okay.
Those the two, the white and the yellow are always not as bright. They just don't come out bright for me. Like maybe it's just my computer
Yeah, that could be.
colors.
You know what? I will send everybody, you know, this I'll send it on a 8.5 by 11 sheet. And I'm going to send you the meridian clock because that's what we're working on now. So you'll have that as a reference. That's what we're working on. It looks like this. I found it on the internet, stole it. But
Right.
we're going around. Yesterday we did heart, small intestine, bladder, kidney. Fire, as you know, has more meridians. So we're going to learn these two today. Then we've got half of the meridian clock done. So we will have gone from 11 o'clock. You'll be all set to 11 o'clock by the end of class to 11 o'clock tonight. And Ruth, you'll be in. Okay, so I need to send this note. So send gathering. Okay, so let's review our meridians from last week, and we'll kind of put them into a bit of a dance as well. So we start with heart, which is its special time of day is 11 to 1. So I need some water. Maybe you do too. So heart goes from armpit to little finger. Armpit to little finger. And then small intestine goes from the back side of the little finger around the arm, around the shoulder. Really, it zigzags across the shoulder blade. So I really open up my hand to do that. It comes up to the cheekbone and into the ear. And I just gotta, like, I keep working on this, but I'm just going to have these in front of me. Pardon me. Okay, yes, that's it. So little finger, back of the shoulder, up to the point where the ear, you know, the upper point where the ear meets. Okay, so let's do the other side. Okay, but we're going to put those together. So I need to remember how, okay. So sort of like we do the movement for giving and receiving, we're going to come up to our armpit, reach out, and then take it across the body to do the back side, come out across the cheekbone and to the ear. The other arm comes up to the armpit, that reaches out, and we come across the body to go back over the shoulder blade, up to the ear. And reach, and across, and around to the ear. And reach, across. So you have to rotate the arm. Arm comes up to the armpit. Rotate. Rotate. Almost like you're sort of threading a needle there. So you can just start making it all flow together. Okay. So moving on to our kidneys, we start from under our feet. We come around the front of the malleolus, do that circle and come up the leg. So for Patsy on her little screen, we're coming from under the center of the foot, okay, up the front of the, we're going to come up the inside of the legs and all the way up to our brain button points, which you all know. So I don't have to describe that, right? Okay, so let's just do that movement a few times. Front of the malleolus, circle it, come up, all the way to here. For some reason, I always find that circle a little bit confusing down there. So that's why we're doing it a few times. You have to think of it starting on the front, around the front side, looping around the back, and then coming up the inside of the legs, and then up the front of the body. One more time, maybe. Now, we're going to bring our fingers up to that inner point here. So we're just, when we finish here, we're going to drop our head into our hands, in a sense, to our fingers. Come up over the top. Imagine that you're stroking down your back, catch it. Come under the buttocks, the center of the back of the legs, all the way down with open hands, because here, remember, these meridians, you have 4 channels, because when it gets to the occiput here, it divides and you have it going straight down. Show you a picture. Oh yes, right. This one is, I hope I can find someday a good picture here, but as you can see, there's 1, 2, and then there would be the same on the other side. 3, 4 channels down the back, and down the back of the legs, there's also 2 channels that come down from your buttocks to your knee. So that's why I say just envisioning that by using your hands, the whole hands coming down as far as your knee. And then down the back of the leg, along the side to the little toes. Okay, so let's try that. Hands drop to the eyes clarity point, over the back of the head, brushing down, catching it, curving under the buttocks, down the back of the legs, and then it comes along the side of the foot, along to the little toe. Eyes clarity, around, drops down. And then to continue, we come around to the kidney point, circle the malleolus, coming up to here, drop the head over, come around and down to the little toe. Flip the hands under and circle around and come up to brain buttons. Head drops into your hands, circle the head, reaching down along the side of the foot. So when we do this, let's think a little bit about, we worked earlier on with the reach of the head and the tail. So the kidneys are on the back side of our body, right? And the bladder is at the front. And so when we come up here, we're actually bringing the energy from the earth up the front of our body. It's sort of going up the inside to here, over, up over the top. Let's really think of that like the opening the bow of the body, up, coming, leading from the bladder, that stretch up over the top, and then catch it down, because they're all related. Like here's our kidneys back here. We come down and think of the reaching down with the tail to bring us down to the little toes, under the foot. Think of, you come around, our nice round kidneys coming up, and think of pulling yourself up with your kidneys. So pulling yourself up with your kidneys and the energy coming to here, ready to reach up and around, and then reaching down with the tail. So it can kind of have a sinuous effect. Okay, here we go. Starting with the kidneys. Front of the malleolus, around, up, reaching up from the kidneys to our brain buttons, fingers to the eyes clarity, reach up and around, bow the body, reaching down, and then reach with the tailbone to bring us down to our little toes. Slide under the foot, coming around the front and up the inside, reaching up from the center of the back, the kidneys, to brain buttons, eyes clarity, reach up, open the front of the body, and then pull down from the tailbone to bring us back down. Okay. We just have time to learn one new one, which is, or pair, which is pericardium. Now this is another fire meridian, and it's very, very similar to the heart. So this one starts from the nipple, just the outside of the nipple. It goes straight across to the armpit, then comes down the underside of the arm to the middle finger. Okay, so very simple, really. Move it out to the middle finger. So from the nipple out to the middle finger, from the nipple out to the middle finger. Okay, now to return, we are going to come along the back side. Let me see, we're out here. So to do this, we're going to come along the back side of the hand from the ring finger. Okay, I'll show you the meridian first. I was starting to do the dance. So the fourth finger, or the ring finger, it comes up the back of the arm, all the way around the back, and it's going to come up to the ear, around the ear, and then over to the corner of the eye. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got that right. Yes, it's very, yeah. So let's try that on the other side. So from the ring finger up the back of the hand, over the back of the shoulder, to the base of the ear on the back side, to our balance button point. It's going to come up around the ear, all the way down to the bottom, and then up to the corner of the eyebrow. So on the other side, we have from the ring finger, the back of the ring finger, all on the back of the arm, to the bottom of the ear, around the ear, and over to the outside corner of the eyebrow. Other side, from the ring finger up the back of the arm to the bottom of the ear, around the ear, and out to the corner of the eyebrow. Okay, so, and yeah, I thought, okay, so you come from the bottom of the ear on the back, from brain buttons points, all the way just to the top connection of the ear again, and then out to the eyebrow. So to make this into a nice movement, if we come out here all the way to the middle finger, then curve around the arm, around the ear, to the point of the eyebrow. Then we're ready to go from the nipple all the way out, then curve around to the ear, come around the ear, and to the eyebrow. From the nipple all the way out to the middle finger. Switch to the back side of the ring finger. The arms curve in, like you're threading the needle, coming around to the base of the ear, around the ear, to the eyebrow. Out to the ring finger, curve along the back of the shoulder up to the ear, and around to the eyebrow. Nipple, reaching out, curve, around, up, around to the eyebrow. Out to the finger, curve along the back, around the ear to the eyebrow. Okay, so let's do some simple cross crawls. Anchor in those patterns. Have a drink of water. So let's do the whole meridian dance from the beginning, the first half, the 12 hours of meridian dance. Okay, so we start with the heart, small intestine. So I'll do it once. Okay, you can just watch. So we're going to start with the heart, little finger, heart, little finger, around to the cheekbone, finishing at the ear. Heart, around, across the shoulder blade, to the cheekbone, finishing at the little ear. Feet. We'll do each one of them 3 times for memory, and then we'll go on to the feet, coming up the front, around to brain buttons, corner of the eyes, around the head, open up the body, come down, leading with the tail to the little finger. And if we were going to go on, we would start at the nipple, reaching out, thread the needle around to the other side, to the back of the ear, come around to the front, to the corner of the eye, reach out, around, across the shoulder, around to the corner of the eye. Okay? So I think it would be nice to do 3 of each before it, and I'll say transition. Okay? So here we go. Starting with our heart. Armpit to little finger. Okay, and let's take a stance first for those a little bit wide so you can really move with your body. Okay? So, armpit, little finger, around, across the shoulder blade, to the cheekbone, to the ear, and little finger, around, across the shoulder blade to the cheekbone and the ear. Across the shoulder blade, come up to the cheekbone and into the ear, out to the little finger, across the back of the arm, shoulder blade, cheekbone, inner ear. I don't know which one we're at. I'll say this is 3 now because I forgot to count. So the cheekbone, inner ear, out, back, cheekbone, ear. Step together to come up, across the front of the malleolus, around, up the inside of the legs, reaching from the kidneys, brain button points, inner corner of the eyes, up over the top of the head, opening the front of the body, energy down the back, reach with the tail, come down the side of the legs to the little toe. And again, kidney point, front, around, up the inner legs, brain button points, corner of the eyes, up around the top of the head, opening the body, reaching that energy down the back, and then from the bum, stretching out to the little toe. Here, up the front and circle, kidneys pulling you up, reach up to here, inner corner of the eye, up over the top of the head, open up the front of the body, and reaching down along the backs of the legs, side of the feet to the little toe. Come up to your nipple. Reach way out, stretch your leg away so you've got some room to move. To the middle finger, switch. To the 4th finger, come around. To the back of the ear, circle the ear, and to the corner of the eye. Nipple reaches out, curves in around the back of the arm, to the back of the ear, around the ear, to the eyebrow. Nipple goes right out, circles around, across the back of the arm, to the back of the ear, around the ear, and up to the eyebrow. From the nipple, way out, and then curve in, reaching out, back of the ear, around to the eyebrow. And there we have our 12-hour meridian dance. So, thanks, Patsy. Anybody have any observations or comments?
You're muted, Audrey.
Pardon? Oh,
That's it.
I felt relaxed and easy and that.
Super. So we'll.
Always enjoy these classes.
Great fast because I can't do the twisting and the turning. So
I know.
it's all arm work. Like a little
Oh.
bugger won't be. So sorry.
Just, it's funny because
I find it quite frustrating.
at the end of the last class, Ruth said to me, why don't we make this into a dance? And, so I did. And then I started teaching it, and then I saw Ruth with her. And I thought, oh my God. Yeah, well.
Guys, I wish I could do
So
it.
I choreographed a dance that Ruth can't do with one arm.
Never mind. I know the principles of it.
It was a good idea, Ruth.
Yeah.
How many more weeks do you have your cast on for, Ruth?
Another 2 weeks
Another 2 weeks.
at least, and then they X-ray it and see if I need another 2 weeks following that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, by the time we learn all the meridians,
So we are.
Ruth will be,
if I'm doing them in pairs, so we'll learn. It'll take 3 more weeks.
And then then I'll be free. Hey,
Maybe you'll have
hopefully.
your yeah. it all.
Yeah. Yes.
Dana.
Take
Thank you.
care, Patsy. Have a great day.
yeah. See y'all next week.
Bye. Bye.
Best. I'll stop the recording.
Recording. Yeah.